Welcome back to the ZeroW Podcast, where we talk about lifting, coaching, and more. You can learn more about ZeroW by going to www.zero.com.au. That's Zero with a W. We are also proudly sponsored by Establishment Coffee. Head to establishmentcoffee.com.au. Use the code 025 for 25% off and free shipping. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. That's what all the cool kids say. And if you're on Spotify, hit that 5-star review. We love it. Enjoy the show now.
Hi, gang. Welcome back.
Hello.
All right. Got another episode of the Zero Weakness Podcast. We've got a special guest on the episode today. We have got Jade Duncan.
Okay. Hi, Jade.
Thank you for having me.
All the way from South Africa.
You have to have it like right in your
It's
mouth.
too close.
Otherwise, no one will hear you. Just pretend it's a brookie
Yeah.
and you're going to take a big bite.
That's so funny.
A lekker.
Everyone that
Buy
doesn't know
lekker.
what brookies. That's funny.
Brookies.
What is that?
Sandwich.
Sounds delicious.
It's
What's on
it's
it?
lekker.
Sounds
It's lekker.
Yeah.
It's literally just a sandwich.
Ah.
Like if you have a peanut butter sandwich, a peanut butter
okay.
brookie. We went to a cafe and Jade ordered a brookie and the guy's like, which cookie?
But then he
Did
said-
you say brookie?
I did say
That's
brookie.
cute.
Oh, really? So you didn't know that was a South African word?
But then he said donkey in Afrikaans.
Oh.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, gracias.
So good.
All right. How you guys been?
Very good.
Jade, when did you get here?
I got you on Sunday morning.
Sunday morning?
Yeah.
So you had a week here to acclimate before you competed?
It didn't help,
Yeah.
But you had fun.
but I did. I did.
Yeah.
Before we get stuck into some quotes, into Jade.
Stuck into
Jade.
We're not going to roast you.
Let's you guys got some quotes?
Jade, guest of the week. What do you got?
I do have a quote, but this is quite deep. So
Excellent.
This is anything but easy, but you are anything but weak.
Nice.
Ooh,
love it.
Okay.
Zero weakness, baby.
Let's go.
James, what you got?
Respect your efforts, respect yourself. Self-respect leads to self-discipline. When you have both firmly under your belt, that's real power.
That's sick.
Does not apply to me whatsoever.
I thought you were going to drop like a farming quote after 2 days of riding a quad bike.
Down on the corner.
Nobody who ever tries to make you feel small will possess a life or a heart you admire.
Oh, that's great.
Sheesh.
Wait, say that again, please.
Nobody who ever tries to make you feel small will possess a life or heart you admire.
Nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm.
That's good.
Don't listen to the haters, people.
When you got bigorexia, you make yourself feel small, but mine is don't let your food get cold watching someone else's plate.
Yes.
Sheesh.
Good quotes, guys.
Yeah. All right. What have you guys been up to?
Jade, what have you been up to besides the comp?
I've just been on holiday and popped into a comp quickly. Just had a fun day.
What have been the highlights of the week?
I liked, what about 2 days ago? What was that, Sunday? The lookouts. And
Oh, we took her up to Tambourine
Oh,
nice.
at sunset. That was really nice.
And
Beautiful.
then yesterday we went to SeaWorld, which was cool.
Cute. I haven't been to SeaWorld in
It's so
years.
great.
How was it?
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the penguins?
We did, but like
Yeah.
the dolphin show and the turtles.
Yeah.
And the polar bear.
Amazing.
Yeah, Jade really wanted to see the polar bear.
I did.
Yeah.
I've never seen one.
Neither have I.
What
Let's
else?
go to SeaWorld.
What cool stuff did we do last week? Did we do any? We were really trying to chill because obviously Jade had the comp on the weekend.
I saw all the gyms, all 3 of them.
We did the gym tour.
Nice.
Nice.
Everyone's been really lovely.
We went to Mount Cootha Lookout.
That's
We
a good one.
Went to the botanical gardens down there. What else?
That's
Just
it.
water cutting more than anything has
Yeah.
been the holiday so far.
So we're going to the zoo tomorrow. Which is
Yeah,
cool.
that'll be cool.
Yeah,
Which zoo?
Australia Zoo.
Oh,
So
really?
we're going to head up there, do Australia Zoo, get Jade to see some koalas. She's seen one so far, but it was on the highway
And it was
and
dead. Didn't make it.
wasn't in the best shape,
Oh.
if I'm honest.
Oh,
And then we'll head to Sunshine Coast Gym. And
yeah, nice.
Hang out
Nice.
there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, sick.
what about you guys? What have you been up to?
We've been in New Zealand. It was amazing.
New Zealand. Oh, sorry. You mean Aotearoa?
Aotearoa. Yeah.
Lord of the Rings country.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was my first time on the South Island. And that was something else.
It was so
out of
good.
this world.
So now you've realised that the North Island is just a waste of time?
Yes. Well, my family lives there, so not quite,
but
not completely a waste of time. It was so nice to see
lots
them.
of people's families live there, Bridget.
It was actually it was incredible.
It was unreal.
It was the best trip. Where my parents live, my parents have they live in like Lake Coleridge, which is like an hour and 20 minutes outside of Christchurch.
Yeah, this little village of like, how many houses you reckon are there? Like 10?
Yeah,
if
maybe
that?
10, 15, 20. Just
Country life.
beautiful. Like,
It is.
just do whatever you want out there.
Green, lush. There's like mountains just behind their place. It's incredible.
Yeah, and my mum and dad just have the best life out there. So it's so cool. And I met my niece for the first time. And
Yeah.
She was cute.
yeah, my mum and dad just
Beautiful.
love having everybody and anybody at their house. So it's like it was just so cool.
Every 5 minutes, a new neighbour would be popping over for a cup of tea. And
Yeah,
it was great.
Fuck, a few cups of teas, eh? Holy.
Man,
And then
That's so good.
I'd never seen your parents. I can't believe how much you look like your dad.
It's great. I've told him that. He doesn't believe me.
It's so funny because me and my brother, we call each other like Gav Jr. like as a joke. And whenever anybody says, "Oh, he looks so much like your dad," to me, he just laughs. I'm like, "Fuck."
Well, like, you're one of few people that I know that look like a cross of their parents.
Mm-hmm. He's
Like
like the Filipino version of his dad.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I don't look anything like my parents combined.
Yeah.
Or, have you seen the Kennedys' mum and dad? Like Chris and Jessica's mum and dad in photos?
No.
Nah.
Or at least the dad. They're like,
Oh yes, yes, yes,
they're
yes.
copy paste.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Because
like-
Chris looks exactly like Jessica. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
but
I was telling Jade this morning, it's so interesting. Like, if you look at their eyes and you blank out everything else, it's like
It's the
looking at the
same.
same person.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
and yeah, what did we do? We just
We went to the Christchurch gym. That
oh
was
my
awesome.
What do you think?
goodness!
Amazing.
That's like, I think I said it when I came back that gym to me represents the step I want to take in what Zero gyms are.
Yeah.
Bro,
it was
that's-
unreal.
So hopefully you understand what I mean now.
It was
Bro,
beautiful.
that's the like that's the best gym by far. I don't know if you like that I say that, but
No,
like,
no. I feel like it's a truly a facility, you know?
Yeah.
that place is incredible.
Like I feel like, and don't get me wrong, of course I love all my gyms, but like these gyms I feel like are still quite little boutique gyms, whereas I look at that as a step towards a facility.
Yeah.
well, the way I look at it is this gym paved the way for everyone else.
Sure.
So like this is where it began. So that's why they just keep getting better. And obviously that's the newest gym, so that's going to be the best one by far.
that's amazing.
A
All,
few things
all of
on-
them except Southside. But
A few things I want to do there that they have there here. Like I want to put the pins on the plates on some of the machines. Have you seen how they've done
on the
that?
plates?
So you know the spare plate stacks. Oh, what the fuck? do you
Yeah,
call it?
yeah. The weight holders from the machines.
Yeah, and have you seen how they've got them attached to the first plate on the machines to make so you can add more weight to them?
Oh no! So they put it through like a bolt through the actual
Yeah,
pin.
they've just got a. I'm assuming they've just got a hammer drill, punched it through. Bro,
No,
it's-
the holes go all the way through. You can just slide a bolt through there.
bro, it's fucking so smart. I want to not this week, next week.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it because the only thing I don't like is when people push the plates right against it and it scratches up the front of the
Yeah.
machine.
Well, yeah, okay.
You just have to, but you can put a rubber stopper
Well,
there.
I think that's what they had. I think they had a rubber stopper there, so it couldn't go all the way.
But the thing is, if you push then the rubber stopper up against the thing, the rubber. I'll get them to take a video of what they've actually
Yeah,
done.
I sent a video to Declan because I was like, "Oh, this is fucking awesome." I thought maybe you already knew about it.
No,
But yeah, it was really cool.
bro. So love Chris and Jamie, love Zero Christchurch, but I don't know what the gym looks like until you guys post photos because they send me nothing.
Well, do you know what?
and they tell me
Wait.
nothing. I'm so blind to that gym.
I'll tell you why, bro. Because those boys
They're
just haven't.
workhorses.
They just
right?
don't stop
Yeah.
working.
I sent
Yeah.
them. I
Well,
sent,
they both still have full-time jobs, plus trying to open
Yeah.
the gym, plus doing all the renos. They don't stop.
Yeah.
and they're actually working. Like,
Yeah.
not even just like pottering around. Like, actually, they're both dirty. They both look
Yeah.
tired. They're actually working the entire time. It's fucking incredible.
And Jamie does his day job overnight. So
Yeah, it's
not only
crazy.
is he working nonstop, he's also not sleeping.
They both haven't really trained properly in like 6 months. But yeah, that gym was
Working very
incredible.
hard.
What else we do? Shoot some guns.
Yeah, we shot some guns.
You guys were good at that.
He was better than his dad. His dad couldn't believe it. He was blown away. He said he put him to shame. And that's the first time you've shot a gun in how many years?
For like 15.
Yeah.
Without saying like a wanker, but I remember when I was younger, my dad used to always say, "Fuck, your eye."
Just a natural at it.
Yeah, like when I was
Hand-eye
younger, when
coordination.
we'd go target shooting, I was always really good.
You should be like the turkey guy at the Olympics.
Right, like,
Just rock up all swagger and just.
bro, this sounds fucking. I'm not trying to sound like a wanker, but I reckon how many shots? Maybe 100 clays.
And you might have missed like 5 or 6.
Yeah, like I was like 4 from 4, 5 from 5, 3 from 3.
Man,
No matter what gun I had.
become a sniper.
Like it was cool.
He
We
was
had
good
like
at
we
it.
had like the pump action shotgun. We had the side by side. We had the semi-automatic rifle. It just felt it was the best redneck holiday.
Yeah, sick.
Was
Like-
it the semi-automatic that was the camo one?
Yeah,
That was the best one. I
Bridget
liked
was
that
good too. Bridget
I
was
was
good too.
I was all right.
I think hitting 1 is good. 'Cause
Yeah, I
it's
wasn't
not
expecting
easy.
to get any. I think I hit like
Because
6 or
you
something.
aim slightly in front, right? Like you sort of mark out the trajectory.
Kind of, but it was really windy, so like it'd just like blow it off course, so you didn't know where it was going to go. Yeah.
How often do you shoot things in South Africa?
I've never shot anything.
Yeah.
Anything or anyone?
We don't shoot people.
Oscar Pretorius might have a slightly different view on that.
Like every person I've spoken to asks me about the crime.
Yeah.
Every single person.
And what do you say?
It's not that bad. It depends where you go.
See, we spoke about this the other day. I think South Africa is funny because like we just get exposed to the next generation of expat South Africans from like 25 years ago. So
Yeah.
they say it's the worst place. I remember when I went over there the first time, not when I met you, the time before that, I spoke to a South African at my bank and she's like, oh yeah, make sure when you hire a car, you ask for bulletproof glass and don't drive on the highways because there's potholes that will swallow your car. Like these horror stories. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to a bad
Potholes
place.
are crazy.
But then everything was great and all the people are so friendly and everything was, it's just like Philippines. Like if you go somewhere dumb and do
Yeah.
something dumb, you probably get in trouble.
Yeah.
But if you just stick to the known places and follow the rules, you're fine.
But still at the airport, they warn you not to get into an unreliable vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But I feel like that's pretty standard everywhere,
so.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jade, as you know, because you listen avidly, what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful to be here. And I think the people have been so lovely, like literally since the first day. It feels like I'm at home in a way.
Well, I just want to let you know you're a Zero superstar, right? Like you're like, I know you're in South Africa, so you're not exposed to it, but you're a superstar.
Oh, sorry for the leg down the weekend.
So no. Besides that, and you know what's even better when you meet someone that we consider a Zero superstar and they're nice.
And they're
It's-
super lovely.
Yeah, it's like, oh, sweet.
No, but the people have been so lovely. And after the comp, so many people connected and sent me messages, and it's just really cool.
Because
wonderful.
you're a superstar.
Mm.
Well, we're very grateful to have you here.
Oh, thank you
Absolutely.
for having me.
Bridget, what you got?
I am grateful for air travel. I think it's so good that we can just jump on a plane and in a few hours we can go over and see our families who live a long way away. Really grateful for that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. Like my dad tells a story of him going to visit his relatives in England when he was a kid and they went by ship.
Oh my God, how long did that take?
Isn't that hectic?
That is crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not even that long ago, which is
No.
even more
Wow.
nuts.
No, he's only like 70.
How long is like air travel like for the
Commer-
public?
Commercial air
Yeah,
travel.
been
I
available.
think it's like the 50s or
The
the
50s,
60s.
yeah. Yeah, wow.
That's crazy.
Mind blowing.
Yeah. What you got, James?
I am grateful for my family. Pretty cool to see them all together, and yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
So it's cool, and then it was just really cool seeing meeting my niece, and yeah, it was just so much fun. Very grateful.
Well, I'm grateful for, I know I say it after every big comp, but our team and just the support that we had and putting this together. You know, Daniel puts his heart and soul into building these comps, and it's so do I. You know, it's my dream comp come true, and to have everyone pitch in and support and ask nothing in return a lot of the time is very special and very heartwarming. So,
Fuck yeah.
Absolutely. Great team.
But a person can tell that there's a lot of care going into the comp, like everything leading up to it and the day itself. It's really cool. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's Jade, we always talk about it like they're really big, and you know, a lot of time and effort goes into them, but it's also like one of the most fun, even though we're always really tired and whatnot, but it's always so much fun. Yeah, like we wouldn't change it. Like those long slogs with everybody.
Yeah, you're in the trenches together. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really cool day.
all right. Well, before we recap the comp, we need to get to know Jade Duncan for the family. So tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you first get into powerlifting?
2021 was my first comp. So I think I've only competed like 7 times, maybe.
Wait, and you're that good?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I thought you'd been doing it for years. You're amazing, so strong.
I started at the end of 2020 after COVID, or in COVID. And then just did it for, like, I think I competed 3 times, and I met Thomas the year after when he came to South Africa for Kurds. And then the year after, I messaged him. I'm like, okay, can I join? And then, yeah, I've been with Zero ever since.
Love that.
And were you doing gym stuff? Like, how did you actually fall into powerlifting in the first place?
It was, I don't know if I should say this, but it was because of a boy at the time. I dropped the boy and kept going.
Love it.
So,
Nice.
yeah, that's
Were you trying to build the courage to leave him? Like build the strength to leave him?
No, so I did CrossFit for a year, and then I went to America for 7 months and had to go back to SA with COVID, and then just started going to our local commercial gym. Trained a little bit, like 5x5 and just doing the normal thing, and then competed, dropped the boy and kept going.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Well, shout out to the boy for
Yeah.
for eventually bringing you here.
Legit.
So
Yeah.
what were your numbers at that first ever comp?
I competed 2 weekends in a row, which was crazy. My first comp, I failed 110 squat, 110. So I got 100, bench 60, and I think deadlifted 120. And then the weekend after, I got the 110,
Nice.
bench 60 again, deadlifted 140.
Nice.
and then I competed that September, but cut down to like 59 kgs. So I'm like super heavy now versus then. And yeah, I didn't do that great because I did a huge cut for the day. Yeah.
And so what are your best numbers now?
Well, not Saturdays, but my numbers, but still the gym lifts or comp lifts?
Gym
Any.
was-
Gym?
Yeah.
I'm definitely my strongest now. I posted a post yesterday just to show that I can powerlift. So we hit 212 in the gym the week before I came.
So 212 squat.
Yeah,
Oh
squat.
my
And then
God.
a 107 bench. I did fail 110 in the gym, so didn't get it. And then deadlifted 215, but with straps. The week before I did 210, matched my PB without.
Oh
Nice.
my
So
God.
Literally, yeah,
Huge
crazy.
progress.
Amazing.
And what weight class do you compete in now?
This is the first time I've ever weighed over 67, so I weighed in at 69,
Mm-hmm.
but I always compete under 67.5. We just decided not to risk or to put too much risk on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, wow.
that's
Yeah,
amazing.
literally, yeah, like looking back, I can't believe it. It would have never happened without Zero, I think.
God's plan, baby.
It's so crazy.
Mm.
Jade mentioned it before that I didn't realize how small she was because of how strong she was. I just always assumed she was like an under 82 kilo lifter or.
Wait till you see her do, like, get her shirt off and train in a singlet and with her muscles out. It's frightening how jacked she is.
I just picked up weight.
I just like lifting.
So humble too.
So tell us about the weekend. Like, what? How does powerlifting in Australia compare to what you're used to?
It's so different. So we don't have a big powerlifting community at home. I think the community feels big because you're kind of connected to everyone, but everyone knows everybody. I would say the only divide is probably between IPF and untested. But like a comp would run from 9 a.m. to easily 5 p.m., 30 lifters for the whole
Yeah,
day.
wow.
So coming here where we started at 1:30, ended at 5:30, we were done, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So we would like squat from 9 to 12, have like a half an hour break, then bench would start, bench for 2 hours, then a half an hour break, then deadlift. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a long day.
It's a big difference,
Yeah.
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 I was saying to Thomas, I feel like that's an Australian thing where it's no, actually, because I'm sure IPF competitions and other federations run
Are also super quick. Yeah.
are quite drawn out as opposed
Yeah.
to an APL competition.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So I think that's just the way that we do it.
But I think it could also just be capacity. There's a lot of people really trying very hard to make powerlifting something in the country, and people working hard to grow the community and have bigger comps, but they're not really getting there yet. So they're trying to get the numbers in to also get the support in. So through the numbers would come your referees and your support on the day. And they're just
Exactly.
trying to get that. Usually it's like 5 people trying to pull a whole day together.
It's hard because there needs to be like an entire ecosystem to make it work really well, and if one thing is missing from that ecosystem, it doesn't work. So it's like you need the lifter, you need the gym owners running the competitions, you need the federation supporting the gym owners, and if one of those links is missing, then it just never gets off the ground.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it's just meet directors aren't rewarded, or the gym owners get greedy and just want to take all the money and not grow the sport, or there's a host of issues that can creep in. Or when everything's working really nicely, you get crazy growth, which is what we see in APL here.
I don't know if you know this, Jade. Well, you might have heard it on a podcast, but the first ever APL competition we ran here, it only had 8 people.
Oh, wow.
8 athletes competing. So to see where it is today, it's
crazy.
You've got those big comps like the Zero Pro and Nationals, and it's incredible. So powerlifting in Australia, in my opinion, like it's obviously it's just how growth works over time. But I feel like right now it's the biggest it's ever been.
That was one of the reasons I wanted to come here, not to just compete with some of the big lifters, but also to experience the culture because it's so different. But I also know many South Africans watch the comp, and I've seen some conversations online where they are they're taking inspiration from it. So I hope maybe it influences some comps back home, which is cool.
What kind of inspiration do you know?
I just saw someone speaking about raising the standard of some comps. But the standard's pretty good. I think they are improving it definitely. But I think just maybe the pace of the comp would change. Maybe they see how it works now and sticking to the 1 minute limit. And I don't know, maybe getting more lifters on the days. Yeah.
What does the landscape of powerlifting look like in South Africa?
Well, we have like 3 major federations. It's the IPF, and then we have WPC and RPC, which is affiliated with GPC. But RPC is quite small, or smaller at the moment, but both have very different missions, you can say. So WPC really wants to grow the sport and get as many lifters as possible to kind of breed competition through that and get more people in to kind of get potential. Where RPC is maybe more focused on, I don't know, pushing elite level lifting, but I also can't really say that. But they both kind of doing their own thing.
Because what's the population of South Africa?
The population of the whole country?
Huge.
64 million.
Yeah,
64
wow.
million.
So out of 64 million, on the history of open powerlifting, there's like 1,800 people that have ever competed in powerlifting.
In South Africa?
In South Africa.
That's
on
all
open,
time.
1,800
Wow.
of all time.
Do you know how many members there are in APL?
No?
About that.
About
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah. And that's just a new federation that's come up in
crazy.
the last 5 years.
Yeah, and that includes people that have been long gone and
Wow.
Bear in mind the population structure is a little bit different.
Yeah,
in South
for sure.
Africa.
But I was just even thinking, I think Jade would be blown away by this, but just in Brisbane alone, a city of 2 million people? That's not too big. There's 20 powerlifting gyms
that's
in
crazy.
Brisbane. Maybe even more than that.
20.
Yeah.
22?
That's crazy.
Or-
Yeah, something like that.
I think we have some
Yeah.
powerlifting gyms in some of the provinces. I know Colton trains at like a powerlifting gym, and there's one in Joburg, Barbell Bullies, and there's a few, like but in Cape Town there's one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
wow.
There's one powerlifting gym. Yeah.
It's very interesting. I think I hope for South Africa's sake that next year creates a bit of a boost. So they've got the ABS competition
Yeah.
happening in South Africa, but also the WPC World Championships is happening in South Africa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And I guess a big difference is IPF international competitions often tracked a lot of international lifters, whereas other world championship or international competitions tend to be localized to that country. So like when we used to go over Steve Hampton to GPC comps, if it was in Hungary, most of the lifters would be Hungarian.
Yeah.
If it was in Serbia, you'd get a huge Serbian contingency. Or like here running worlds, our worlds, most of it was Australians. So hopefully that kicks I guess that's probably a big part of why WPC's blown up over there, is people heading towards worlds, and I hope that it inspires a lot of people in South Africa to jump in, because that just helps everyone. There's more money circulating in the sport, the coaches grow, the gym owners grow, they grow bigger comps, the competitions grow, the sport grows. It's good for everyone.
But I also think preparing for next year's comps, I saw WPC Nationals this year. It was like a world stage. It looked like you were watching, I wouldn't say an ABS, but like a world-class competition. And I obviously just called in and looked or watched online. But the whole setup, everything looked so professional. It was so well run. I think they did like 110 lifters on the day, or over 2 days, which is the most I think a comp has done. Really well run and like on the clock, everything perfectly. So I think they are preparing and getting the standards there to prepare everyone for next year.
That's really cool.
That's
Very
really
cool.
That's awesome. I was just wondering, Tom, bro, like somewhere, if you have like a world event, let's say APL one, APL blows up so big. What's our world, have we announced that?
WPU.
Yeah, sorry, we've already announced that.
No, but kind of.
Oh, okay. So don't say.
I mean, like there's been WPU banners at all our competitions.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's not top secret, but I mean nothing's official.
Well, let's say one
officially
day
out there.
WPU gets so big, and then they have an affiliate in South Africa. Do you think hosting world competitions in somewhere like South Africa, where it's like it's a destination, so like when a comp's in Europe, it's really easily accessible for everyone to go to, like for Europeans anyway.
Yeah.
But I've never understood why in the IPF are there always competitions in like Macedonia,
Like obscure places.
Yeah.
Sort of?
That's a money thing.
okay,
Yeah.
Because you have to pay an exorbitant. You have to stay at like the competition venue. The hotels, the approved hotels. You have to use their transportation. There's a lot of stuff that they can then control, jack up the prices to reflect what international pricing would be in a country that is dirt cheap. Think of it as like outsourcing to Thailand for t-shirts.
Yeah, okay.
You're essentially outsourcing the competition to a cheaper country so you make a bigger profit.
Because one thing I thought was really cool about IPL Worlds here is it was a destination so far away that it made it really enticing to a lot of Americans because they could come here on a holiday at the same time as competing in their sport at a world level. Do you think like having a huge competition like WPU Worlds in South Africa would be a viable option?
I don't think it's a bad idea. The hard thing is the equipment. If we ran a world championships, we've got all the equipment. If we ran it in South Africa or China or somewhere, we'd have to get all the equipment there or find a gym or an affiliate that has all the equipment, which is pretty unreasonable for a Worlds. Like you think of the IPL Worlds reran, it was all our stuff.
Yeah.
So that part makes it a little bit more challenging. I think the thing with Australians, like we look at Worlds being in all these other countries and be like, well, why don't we just bring it to Australia? Australia's great. It's great, but it's super expensive for anyone not in Australia to get here. Just like it's super expensive for us to go to Europe or America. For the rest of the world, like Europe to go to America or vice versa is not that crazy. Even Jade coming here versus probably going to America, I don't know how big the price difference is, but I imagine it's a little bit more expensive coming here than anywhere else.
The flights were more expensive, but I booked them so early that they were cheap.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they were like double the price a month out than when I bought them. But I think it is expensive traveling anywhere from South Africa, really.
Sure.
It makes it easier, like if you do live with someone or a few of the costs do get covered, like with accommodation or just day to day. That helps, definitely.
Well, I don't know. Maybe one day South Africa, Johannesburg.
So many people have asked me, or not so many, but like 3 have asked me.
It's more than 2.
That'd be cool.
Have asked you what to open a Zero in South
They
Africa?
asked me when is
When?
there in South Africa.
Imagine that.
I'd rather not.
I don't know if it would be viable, profitable.
I'd love an excuse to go to South Africa. But I was telling Jade this the other day. It's similar to the UK. Their gym scene is interesting because it's like it's such a low socioeconomic country. But the gyms they have, like the commercial gyms, are like super gyms.
Incredible way.
Mega
Wow.
gyms. Like so Virgin Active where Jade used to train and where I went and trained when I was over there with Kurt. It's like you walk in, there's like 2 levels, there's all these squash courts, there's an Olympic pool in the middle, and then in the upper level a giant gym circling this Olympic pool. It was just like, but
good equipment.
then how much is it a month if you've got like that benefit you're talking about?
So with one of our medical aids, you get like a vitality benefit or something, and then your gym membership's 75% off. But okay, you also pay so much for the benefit. But I mean,
So at at full price, it was like 120 a month.
Yeah.
So cheaper than here.
yeah.
Wow.
Insane.
But then at the 75% off, it's like $20 a month. Like,
Unbelievable.
I couldn't go and compete with that.
Is it in South Africa? Is something like your insurance, health insurance, and whatnot? Is that something that you need to have as well?
You don't need to have it, but
No.
it's advisable. To
Yeah.
have it.
Okay.
It's not for free, so
Yeah.
it is super expensive usually. But then there's like one big provider that you have like a bunch of little benefits, and you kind of save on a lot of things. So,
Yeah. Right.
yeah. But even the powerlifting gym in Cape Town is actually quite affordable if you compare it to any other like country. But the people there find it very expensive. which is a pity because they are trying to do something and grow a gym in the community, but it's just too expensive for most people.
When just a little bit off topic, when I look at South African powerlifting, I think of people like Nicholas Dupree's, Kurt Keogh, Colton Engelbrecht, and then so obviously there's a lot of big names in the men's powerlifting scene. Are you the number one female South African of all time?
No, I'm number 4.
Oh wow!
The top 3. My good friend Danielle is, I think, number 2 at the moment, and then Rowan's uncle just took the number 1 spot, but she just retired as well. But very well deserved. Massive total. But also, what's crazy? Sorry, going off topic. The top 4 lifters, the max dots we have is 567, which is compared to the Zero Pro lineup. That's like the top 4 people have more than that, which is crazy, but very well deserved number 1. And then she's like in her 40s, and then number 3, Danielle van Jaarsveld, also in her 40s.
Yeah, wow.
She just went over to abs this year. Yeah.
So for how small powerlifting is in South Africa, like pound for pound, it's got to be up there with one of the best countries in the world.
But I would say, like, I think it's myself, and then there's one more person that got 500 dots a while ago, but there's only 5 females above 500 dots at the moment, or maybe there's 6 now. Another IPF girl just got 500 dots. So 6 people in the country, women.
So what does powerlifting for women look like in South Africa? Like when I ask that question, I look at a country like New Zealand and Australia. I feel like powerlifting for women in New Zealand is very impressive. That's where you see a lot of the freaks at the IPF Worlds and the Sheffield Cup and all those competitions. I
think it's very much still an emerging sport over there.
I think so. There's a lot of up and coming females, but I would say, I wouldn't say it's that. I think the men are probably a little bit more stacked, but there are up and coming females, definitely. Some of the IPF women are really taking over. So almost beating the untested.
Yeah.
But not that many, no.
All right. Well, should we talk about the comp?
Yeah.
Nice. What did you guys think? Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
The whole weekend, it actually got a little bit annoying towards the end. No offense, Steve. The whole weekend, anytime we were moving something, Steve Bradshaw would, like, no one would even be talking to him or listening to him. He'd just be talking to himself to make himself laugh. He'd be like, "Oh, James, can you just go?" "Oh, never mind." And he just kept doing it. And it was like, I secretly found it really funny, but I didn't want to feed the beast. He just kept doing it over and over.
Yeah, Khan just sent me videos every day fucking abusing me. It was so funny. Every day. It was so good. He'd like send me things like day 4 and he'd just send me a video of him abusing me. It was good.
To be fair, it was the smoothest bump in I think we've ever had.
Yeah, nice.
Like we'd got it down to an art, which is really good, right in time for them to kick us out and never have us back again. We literally can't use that venue anymore. So yeah, that was good. And
that was a great venue. Sad we couldn't go there one more time.
The bump out was really efficient too, which was nice. But yeah, I mean, the competition itself was great. I don't really want to go through and recap all the lifters, A, because I can't remember off the top of my head, and B, because the weekend was a bit of a whirlwind. But what I will say is it was really cool to see our Zero lifters end up on podiums and do some cool stuff. So Lilley Riley won the female pros, which was great.
Amazing.
She ended up out in first place, and it was a great battle between her and Keita.
Because I thought Keita was going to win.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of did.
Yeah,
but she didn't have the best prep, and so on the competition day, I mean, I had foreshadowed this many times, but I don't think people either didn't listen or didn't trust me. I said there were going to be a lot of broken hearts because and Bridget, you'll agree with me with this. I hate it when people call the reffing strict because it's not strict.
There's just
the rules.
It is or it isn't. That's it.
It's by the standard of the rule book, and we've been pretty methodical about training people how to referee depth. And I was watching so many people in training squat high, and yeah, I mean, like I never wanted to compromise on our standards for the sake of letting people get high squats past and feel good about themselves.
I feel like that's worse.
Absolutely,
so much
it does.
worse.
And it's hard because there's been so many people that are used to going to federations or competitions where they can squat high and have it passed. So it was quite a shock to the system. So we had several people bomb out on depth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, like, it's here's me with another sports analogy. When you watch a sport and it's fucking, you don't say the refereeing's strict. It's just the standard. It's normal. There's a difference between bad refereeing and refereeing to the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like kicking a soccer ball at the goal and hitting the goalpost and bouncing out of bounds and being like, it's kind of close though. It was borderline.
I would have given it.
No, look, I've got a video. Can I contest that? No. So, yeah, there were a number of people that unfortunately bombed out. I don't want to see anyone bomb. And we were very careful about the referees that we selected to ref. I feel like the refereeing standard was extremely good across the day. One thing that's actually interesting, and I'll show you guys after, I did this with Jade's phone yesterday. I filmed myself from the live feed angle and then from a side angle and did a bunch of high and deep squats because the live feed angle is really deceptive about how deep you're actually going. And I'll show you one that looks like I'm literally sitting on the floor, and then when you look side on, I'm barely hitting depth. And it's quite deceptive. So the only person who can comment on somebody's depth is the person that's got the exact view of the referee. And you can't have that unless you are the referee.
Yeah.
And like as a coach, you can watch somewhere from the side, but you can't get in that same position because you can't just stick your head next to the referee. So your view's probably obscured. But anyway, there were a few people that struggled with depth, which made the competition a little bit interesting. I say all that to say that Keita missed her second squat, I think, on depth.
Yeah,
she got it on third, right? So she ended up with 240. So she ended up with a squat that was perhaps a little bit less than what she was capable of. But Lilley did the same. So Lilley fell over with her second squat of 280. She stumbled back. And then she stood up with her third squat of 280, but it was a little bit high. So they were sort of both sitting behind. They weighed in very close to each other. Keita's got a bigger bench, but she missed her third bench.
Yeah, right.
So that knocked her back a few points. And Keita's also got a bigger deadlift. So it got down to the final deadlift. And I know that Keita had tore her hand real bad a few weeks ago in prep. And so we had to play the numbers game a little bit. And Keita has the advantage because she's got a bigger deadlift. So she sits in front. She gets to watch what Lilley does and then pull back and pull for the win. So she did that and just missed it out, lockout.
It's because I was actually surprised by Keita's bench because I've seen her bench 147 at Wildcats in like 2019 at under 75.
Yeah, so I think she just had didn't have the best prep. That's all. And she's done a few big comps, I think, in the last sort of 12 months.
But that's such a cool. That's a battle that we're going to watch for years now.
Yeah,
I love that.
Super, super exciting. Jade, of course, came 6th.
It's not a great day.
Walked away with a cool $500.
Nice.
Sheesh.
Nice, because none of the pros paid entry, or they got their entry fee reimbursed if they did pay to hold their spot if they showed up, and every pro won prize money.
Oh, cool.
So there was the top 3, the 5,000, the 2,500, 1,250, but then underneath that it was like I think 900, 800, 700, all the way down to 100. And every pro walked away with some prize money. Yeah.
Jade, you want to run us through, I know you say you didn't have the best day. Like, do you want to run us through your performance?
Not really. It wasn't the best day. But it's so strange because I was feeling a bit off on the day. I think just the morning and the comp, and I was super nervous as well, obviously. And then in warm-up, 180 was so easy, and I told Thomas it's going to be a good, I've got this. It was really good. And then opened with 192. It was really easy. Loaded 202 and I just couldn't get up. And with the second loaded it again, just couldn't get up again, which is so strange. I don't think I've squatted that little in 2-3 years, which is crazy.
We always talk about it though. You just can't predict what's going to happen on competition day.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just that. And we've had the conversation already, but people underestimate how big of a deal traveling that far is for a competition. Like, it's not just the flight, it's not adjusting to the time zone, but it's also things as little as the difference in water, the difference in the food sources, all of that adds up. Like, all of it is minute percentages that add up. Different environment, different routine. Everything is so different.
Different broikies.
Exactly. Okay, what about bench? How'd you go on bench?
Bench was okay. I got a PB on bench, but only like 2.5 kgs. but
Wait,
still-
bench was. I don't feel like you could have the best day and you wouldn't be happy with it.
So changed my opener last minute to 97. I think I was scared I was going to have the same experience as squats, so at least just get 97. And then went 105. And then with 107, it's so funny, my friend Danielle said I did it on hard mode because I double dipped it and got it, but double dipped. And then, I went over to deadlifts. I felt okay. I felt better than I expected at the end of the day. But then, once again, 195, 205 went up, and then 212 just didn't, which is also less than I've done before. But it's still, it would have been a comp PB. But
So, was this your first international comp?
yeah, it was. My first pro lineup.
Yeah.
Feels so weird to say, but pro lineup.
Well, it's a good thing. It's good that you've got your first international comp out of your way, and you know what to. You obviously next time you'll know how to prepare a little bit better and do things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
With food and things like that.
But I think just being in the environment, like I would obviously change my performance on the day, but I'm not regretting competing or sharing the platform with the people that I did. And the wins are definitely very well deserved. Like Anna Robinson coming out of nowhere, also failing a second squat, getting the third on 220, which is crazy. So seeing the people that did place higher, they definitely deserved it, which is cool. So,
And I said this to Jade the other day as well. It's like, I keep saying you didn't have a bad comp. She says, oh, yes, I did. Because I'm not measuring it just in numbers. I'm measuring it in intangible qualities or less tangible qualities. Like, okay, you weren't happy with your squats, but you still showed up and pushed on bench, and you still showed up and pushed on deadlifts. There's a lot of things that are great learning experiences and great signs of your maturity as an athlete that you can take away from the competition. So I think you did great.
Yeah, well done, Jade. I think you did awesome as well.
it was one or two moments you're like, oh gosh, you have to like finish the day now, but you have to finish the day because if you're going to ruin it, you're ruining it for yourself.
Exactly.
That's the bad, like that's tough as well because powerlifting, it's so drawn out, so you get a lot of time in your own head.
But also
And
this comp, I didn't have enough time in my head. So that's also the thing. So we squatted and then I'm like, I have to go warm up again in 30 minutes or like 20 minutes. There's no time to sit and cry. Like you have to go back in and you have to warm up for bench and you can't think of squats and ruin your whole day because it's going to get in your head.
It's a very different experience. I had heaps of time to sit and cry. And cry I did.
I cry on my flight back home.
And then in the men's, we had Chris Kennedy, another zero lifter.
Insane.
Take
Incredible.
the win.
What a monster.
It was insane.
Very
Very cool
monstrous. So took the win, not only took the win, but also took the all-time 82 Australian total. And I don't think anyone's going to touch that for a long time.
Bro,
Absolutely
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, crazy. Especially his bench.
Yeah.
Wild.
But it was
Wow.
cool to see like what Theo had to, and the same with Kira and Lilley, but what Theo had to load to take the win.
It's so funny. We were talking about it before. When Jay told me, I didn't know Theo came second until Jay told me before. I was like, what? That guy trains. His training's so sporadic. He's been injured. I'm like, and he still almost won the Zero Pro.
And he PB'd by a month.
Oh my God.
So like Theo didn't train and he had really bad knees. He basically didn't squat for the last 6 months. He squatted a PB, so he squatted 380. He benched a comp PB, 225.
He had a bad shoulder 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. And he hurt it again squatting on the day. And then he deadlifted 422 to break the all-time Australian record.
Oh my God.
Again. And totaled whatever that was, 1027 or something like that, which is like a 15 kilo PB.
How many times has he totaled over 1,000 now?
That's his fourth.
Fourth.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, fourth.
Wow.
It's
Third or fourth, yeah. And then he could have just pulled another comfy deadlift of like maybe 435 and pushed the record way out of reach and walked away with a bigger total, but he wanted to beat Chris, so he loaded up 457 and had a crack.
I say it in jest. I said to, I'm obviously joking, he's an amazing athlete and he's obviously trained so hard and been so consistent to get to where he is, hence why he can train so sporadically. But I said as a joke to Jade before, I'm like, what? He trains like twice a month.
Yeah.
I did not realize he would, I didn't even know he was still doing the Zero Pro.
Yeah.
Because every time he comes in here and we talk to him, we're like, have you been training? He's like, oh, not really. And I'm like, what are you going to do today? He's like, oh, I don't know. I'll try some deadlifts. Loads 420 in the gym.
Yeah.
440, 460. I'm like, wait, didn't you say you trained once this week and eaten nothing?
Insane.
What a monster.
Yeah, been going through a bit. So he did really well. Caleb Voice benched 242 to break the all-time 100 kilo Australian bench record, which was his own from many years ago.
Yeah.
He was primed and ready to go 250 plus, which would have been 2.5 times body weight, which he really wanted. But he had a little bungle on his second attempt and then came back for his third and did it really easily. So
Amazing.
Who came third in the men's?
it was Ben from South Australia.
Ben.
I'm having a mind blank on his name. Ben Smith? Benno. I know he's Benno.
So
But also quite small guy. I think he deadlifted 320 as well, just before Chris.
Just a tip, we don't call men small, please.
Well, in South Africa, Tom,
Yeah,
they don't have small men.
Yeah, Ben Smith from
Smith.
Adelaide.
who was third in the women's?
Anna Robinson.
Anna Robinson.
Anna Robinson.
Yeah, so Ben went 780 at 80.7.
Flip.
Yeah, so very strong. He's been around for quite a while. He's a great guy, great lifter. But then we had tons of zero lifters. Like I said, it's going to be hard to sort of recap them all, so I don't want to sit here and do that. But just a big shout out to everyone, not just zero, not just people coached by zero, but a lot of zero lifters, as in a lot of people who train at our gyms did really well at the Zero Pro, and it was really, really great to see.
Actually, I want to mention one of my athletes, Tom Bro.
Yes, go for it.
Drum Grumpy. I feel so bad. This bloke had such an amazing prep. This is the first comp in ages where I've only just had one lifter.
Yeah.
And Drum Grumpy had the best prep he's ever had.
did.
Like he was
He really
hitting squat PBs, 6, 7, 8 weeks out. And then unfortunately, the week before comp, he hurt his back. Warming up or doing his opener on deadlifts. And then, look, I said, we're only a week out. There's nothing we can do, unfortunately. See a physio if you want to, but we're just going to have to, all the hard work's already been done now. The tape is pretty much just for you to rest anyway.
Yeah.
And then it didn't go according to plan and hurt his back.
Yeah, he still showed up, started warming up, but it was, no good.
But he held it together pretty well. He messaged me. He seems pretty positive about it.
Yeah.
Like you said, it was the best prep he's ever had. So yeah.
Great guy. And thank you, Thomas, for looking after Kim on the day.
No,
She
you're
had an
welcome.
absolute blast.
Yeah, she killed it.
Yeah, she had so much fun.
She did amazing.
Yeah, she's got Christmas Cup in 4 weeks again, so
4 weeks and 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will give a shout out to Asher Jones. Ash has been working with me since Nationals, and he missed 200 on his second bench, and he really wanted 200, and he had done it in training, and he had just stuffed up the second one, touched a little bit too low, lost his shoulders. So you remember Asher, the guy that
the dog.
They bark, He bashed himself in the face, like he slapped himself in the face before his third bench, went out, bench 200, got it. But in the process of hitting himself in the face, he put out his TMJ and he couldn't open his mouth. Like he literally clocked himself in the face. Then he had to go see Scott and get physio for like half an hour to loosen up his jaw enough to open it. And then he just had this real sore face all day.
Is he Filipino, by the way?
I don't know. Maybe.
He's a unit.
Yes. All right, gang, I got to go.
All right, go do your thing. Thank you so much for joining us, Jade, for
Thanks, Jade.
having the
me.
courage to jump on at the last second. We
You were
appreciate
amazing.
it.
You did really
Yeah,
well.
you're good. You
Yeah.
I'm so nervous.
Can't tell at all.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Zero Podcast. If you want more information, head to our Instagram, @zero_weakness. Hit the link in the bio for all of our services and any information on upcoming workshops and events. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review so we can have a broader reach and answer more people's questions. Thank you once more.